Hello everyone, thank you for clicking on this video. My name is Max and today I'm going to be doing my review for Season 3, Episode 1 of Batwoman. Alright, so if you've watched any of the videos on this channel regarding Batwoman, you will know that I have a very mixed relationship with this show. I don't think it is as good as it should be. I think a lot of things kind of fall flat and over in terms of overall plot developments and what they could have done with some of the characters. But regardless, I seem to be coming back to this show even if I'm not necessarily enjoying it, and I think that's just because I'm such a huge fan of the Batman world and the characters in that world in Gotham City, anything having to do with the Bat family, and I really do want the show to work, but so far it hasn't measured up to what I expect it to do. Now, going into Season 3, Episode 1, I did not expect anything more than what we've seen already. I think Season 2 was a very mixed bag. The first couple episodes, especially the one with Victor Zsasz, I think that one was actually pretty good. But then, kind of near the middle of the season, it seemed like some storylines were dragging on more, and I ended up just watching recaps of it until the final episode because I didn't have that much interest in it. I didn't want to spend time watching it if I wasn't really engaged with it. However, Season 3, Episode 1 is one of, if not the best episodes of this series. And I think that is great because, while it may have taken 2 complete seasons for them to find their footing, if this is what they stick for the remainder of the show and possibly even make it better, I think they will get some new fans. I'm going to tune in next week, and going into this, I fully expected not to want to. So, this episode, I think while there were a couple things that I didn't like some of the Mad Hatter copycats lines were cringy, and I think at times it was a little bit predictable. This episode was definitely what I wanted from the show. It gave me vibes from Gotham, some of the kind of things they would do in that show. It actually reminded me a lot of Season 2, Episode 3. I believe it's called The Last Laugh of Gotham. I won't spoil anything for people who haven't seen that, but if you have seen it, you know what I'm talking about in terms of the parallels between this episode of Batwoman and that episode of Gotham. I do think, aside from some of the dialogue, the Mad Hatter character was pretty good. I think he was definitely one of the villains on the show that you could actually be fearful of because you really didn't know, even though he was a copycat, what his motivations were or why he was the way he was. And I think they need more villains like that on the show because it was a similar situation with Victor Zsasz. You don't really know why Zsasz is the way he is, but he does what he does, and he does it in a way that's more engaging for the audience to view. And I think that's definitely, if they're going to stick with that in the show, it will 100% be a benefit to the show. Now, I also really liked Javicia Leslie's Ryan Wilder a lot more than I did in Season 2. In Season 2, I wasn't someone who was upset that she was replacing Kate Kane necessarily, even though I think definitely the writers could have handled that situation better. Rather than just writing Kate out of the show, they should have kept her around maybe as an oracle kind of character in the Batcave, but, they did what they did, and we are where we are, so getting back to Ryan Wilder, this character is definitely a lot better than Season 2. I don't know if they decided to kind of, make her more, I don't want to say brutal, but there's definitely more of a anger to the way that she's doing her crime fighting, and it seems like she's really just getting to know what to do. She's learned the suit and all that, and they're kind of giving the learning side of things to Luke, aka Batwing, which I hope he overcomes soon, since it seems like it was just something put in the episode to stall, which I wasn't a huge fan of when it happened the second time. But I do think, regardless, Ryan Wilder's character has definitely grown on me way better than Season 2, so if they keep this up as well, I think this will it's shaping up to be the best season of the show, and it's the first episode. As always, I think Alice's character was good. I don't know where they could really go with her storyline now, but it seems like she will have some sort of vendetta against Ryan for lying to her, and I assume that's where they're going to go with her continuously being a villain. But I don't think she'll be the main villain anymore, and I think that's good now after 2 seasons of her kind of being the main villain, or at least one of the main spotlights of the show, to give her a backseat in terms of story and let other characters come to the forefront. But yeah, overall, there's not really much else I can say. I really enjoyed this episode, and I actually can't believe I'm saying this, but I can't wait to see what happens next week in the show. So that's about all I have for now. Thank you so much for checking out this video. If you liked it, please like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.